Alright, generation 1 on Insight Vtec. I'll just kind of turn the motor over and show how the valves actuate, and you get a good feel for the Vtec-e system and how Vtec for an engine like this differs from like a Vtec you'd find on a Civic Si, you know, of a mid-2000s vintage. So I'm just going to turn the engine over here and show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. So this is cylinder 1. You got intake valves over here, exhaust valves over here. So I'm just going to turn the motor over, and you'll see only one of the intake valves opens. See that? This one's open, this one's closed. And we've got a single port over here on the intake side. So it is a 4-valve head. They're only using 3 valves at low RPM. And that's so that as air enters the chamber, it goes through one valve and kind of comes in on the side because the other valve isn't open, and then it creates a swirl around the spark plug towards the center of the head. And that's how they run this Vtec-e system on the Insight and the Civic, VX, HX, the Civic Hybrid of similar vintage too. Can run lean up to like 22-to-1 ratio during cruise under light load because they engineered in all this swirl. So you can see the exhaust when it comes back up. Get there. The exhaust, both rockers actuate together. So when you get to higher RPM, you can see here you've got one lobe for the intake, and there's a pin that rides in here that's actuated via oil pressure. So this solenoid here will energize at a certain RPM. I don't know what RPM it is. Probably low on this engine. Slides the pin over, and then you get at higher RPMs you get both of the intake valves actuating. So ECU controls that based on throttle angle, engine load, engine RPM, all that fun stuff. So it's actually pretty neat. Pretty neat little engine. I'll pull the head off and we'll look at that a little closer too.